Netflix will be releasing Season 5 of The Crown today, November 9, worldwide, with audiences finally able to see the show for themselves, following months of controversy and criticism. Prior to the drama's release, the American streaming platform shared a trailer teasing the forthcoming episodes. Perhaps one of the most stark moments was the opening scene, which portrayed the fire at Windsor Castle back in 1992, a year which Queen Elizabeth II, played by Imelda Staunton, described as her annus horribilis. Season 5 will be looking at the events of this horrific fire and how it impacted the royal family, particularly the Queen. How did the fire at Windsor Castle start? The fire broke out 30 years ago on November 20, 1992 at around 11:30 a.m., wreaking havoc on the castle. The blaze started in the Queen's private chapel and then spread to over 100 rooms, including Brunswick Tower and St. George's Hall. A faulty spotlight in the chapel was labelled as the culprit and started the fire after it ignited a curtain beside the altar. The building's materials and also the vast space within St. George's Hall are thought to have contributed to the flames spreading so quickly. Members of the royal family, royal staff, soldiers and firefighters all helped to save precious artworks and antiquities as the flames raged through the castle. Miraculously, only a handful of pieces from the extensive art collection were destroyed. A large painting by Sir William Beechey and a rosewood sideboard couldn't be removed in time, according to the Royal Collection Trust. A total of 200 firefighters and 25 officers were brought on to tackle the fire before it was deemed to be under control. The fire lasted for 15 hours and was finally extinguished at 2:30 a.m. on November 21, and firefighters from 7 different counties, London, Surrey, Hampshire, Wiltshire, Oxfordshire, Buckinghamshire and Hampshire, were battling to stop the raging inferno. Firebreakers were assembled to stop the flames ripping horizontally through the building and instead were up through the roof area. In all, 36 water pumps released 1.5 million gallons of water during the height of the operation to quell the fire. 5 members of the fire crew were taken to hospital and 3 others were treated on the scene, states the Royal Berkshire Fire and Rescue Service. There was a 5-year period during which extensive renovations were carried out on the damaged parts of the castle to return it to its former glory. A room now known as the Lantern Lobby replaced the private chapel, creating a formal corridor between the private and state apartments. Meanwhile, St. George's Hall was given a new lease of life as it was returned close to how it had originally looked, albeit with some 20th-century reworking. The restoration was officially finished on November 20, 1997, 5 years to the date of the fire and also the 50th wedding anniversary of the Queen and Prince Philip, Jonathan Pryce. Windsor Castle is the world's largest inhabited castle and is one of several royal residences, with the fire affecting the Queen, who even referenced it in her now famous speech in 1992. In the speech, in which the Queen addressed the Guildhall as part of the 40th anniversary of her accession to the throne, she said, "1992 is not a year on which I shall look back with undiluted pleasure." In the words of one of my more sympathetic correspondents, it has turned out to be an annus horribilis. I suspect that I am not alone in thinking it so. Indeed, I suspect that there are very few people or institutions unaffected by these last months of worldwide turmoil and uncertainty. This generosity and wholehearted kindness of the Corporation of the City to Prince Philip and me would be welcome at any time, but at this particular moment, in the aftermath of Friday's tragic fire at Windsor, it is especially so. The Crown Season 5 will be released on Netflix on Wednesday, November 9.